And we're back at St James's Pod, this time for a weekly catch-up show. In this episode, we're going to be talking cup final tickets, potential stadium expansion, Amazon documentaries, the West Ham game, and then a look ahead to the Bournemouth game. But before all that, here's a little word from the sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Sword Tiling, lead tiling specialists in the North East, covering all aspects including commercial and domestic. They've got you covered. So head to sword_tiling on Instagram and tell them St James's Pod sent you. Alright guys, we're joined by Pete, Tom and Jack for this one. Hello Jack.
Boys,
first time on the show.
First time. Yeah.
Also known as cocknose, by the way.
C-nose or caviar, whichever you prefer. C-nose, no.
We'll go with Jack, shall we?
For the record, no one calls him caviar, no one calls him C-nose. It's just cocknose.
Straight up cocknose.
Fucking C-nose.
Yeah,
Try to shorten it.
patching in from Melbourne this morning. How are you feeling?
Yeah, sunny Melbourne, it's not too bad. Cold, but it'll warm up. It always does here.
Cold.
Sunny Oz. Well,
How do you feel
Like
about that?
bit like this pod, mate. Starts cold and warm eventually. Yeah, lukewarm, we'll say.
lukewarm. No, I'm good. I'm good. Looking forward to the pod to come.
You two back in England. How would you feel the cold temperatures are?
Warming up, mate. Actually warming up.
Yeah.
I'm only wearing 3 layers to bed.
Are you still wearing your long johns like Pete?
Nah, short johns, mate.
Oh, we're off. And we're off.
I'll rinse myself in doors, isn't he?
Pete, I want to come to you about the cup final tickets first, because
Don't ask.
I don't really understand what the process has been for you and Alex. So can you just explain it a little bit?
So there's 7 periods where they've obviously had to divide it up as even as possible, because there's people who've followed the club home and away for years and years. So first cup final in, League Cup final since the 70s, I think. Obviously the first cup final since 99. Long time coming. So the club have tried to divide it up into as fair as they can, which I think they've done, to be honest. So you had period 1, which were season ticket holders with at least 25 loyalty points, and I think it was attended at least one Carabao Cup game. That was your first. So they're guaranteed a ticket. They just had to apply 10 o'clock, like you would normally, to get tickets. Go on, and you've got to pick your seat. They got first choice of seats, which obviously the safe standing area behind the goal got snapped up straight away. Second period, which was released the day after period 1. So period 1 had basically 24 hours, just under 24 hours to get their tickets. Period 2 was season ticket holders who, I believe, loyalty points didn't come into it, but they had to go, I think it was 3 home games and 1 away game. Tom, is that right?
That's right.
There was only a very select few in that group, because to go to the away game, I think you almost had to have the 25 points. So there's a couple of people who basically the people who've gone into tier 2 were basically in tier 1 as well, give or take a few. So it wasn't that busy. You had period 3, which was season ticket holders that have gone to at least 3 Carabao Cup games, which I believe Tom's in. Tom and his dad were in period 3. Did you get your tickets, Tom? Yeah, sorted?
Yeah, we've got them. We were not in the best
He's going
of
to
seats
Wembley,
possible.
guys!
We're off to Wembley.
Have you told your ma?
I've told my ma. She knows. But yeah.
No, she's not come for bed. So that was tier 3. Yeah. So the first 3 tiers were guaranteed tickets, basically. Me and Dawson missed out by 1 game, so we were in tier 4, and tier 4 is the start of the ballot, unfortunately. So me and Dawson, season ticket holders, and you had to go to 1 or 2. Obviously, we'd be to 2. If we'd have gone to 1 more home game, would have been in tier 3, guaranteed. Shit happens, you know what I mean? So we applied for ours. Me, Dawson, and one of the other lads linked our tickets together, which you can do, and then you can apply to be sat together. But the thing that was left on from period 3, so we applied for ours on Thursday, but it was literally just basically if it's St James's, level 7's left. Obviously, there's a lot of seats in there, but level 7's left, and you just apply. You had to jump into the queue. Well, it wasn't a queue because it was a ballot, but because everyone's still trying to get them, everyone's trying to get on it 1 second past 10, even though you can apply for your ballot until 8 a.m. the next day. So it would have been 8 a.m. this morning was when the ballot ended for period 4. We got ours in. Luckily, one of the lads jumped on and he was like number 80 in the queue or something like that. But we don't actually find out. We can find out any time until Tuesday night. So, but the thing is, we don't know how it's going to work. But this thing is, Paige, because it's a ballot. So period 4 is in the ballot. Period 5, which was today, is just season ticket holders who haven't been to a Carabao Cup game, just a season ticket holder. That's period 5. Period 6 is Period 6 is for members, which will go on sale tomorrow morning. So members who have been to a Carabao Cup, and then period 7 is just for anyone, general sale, if they've bought the ticket to go to the Carabao Cup. I don't like saying it, but well, this is the thing, mate. So because period 4, 5, 6, and 7 is all a ballot, the email wasn't worded great that all season ticket holders got, especially for periods 4 downwards. Period 1 to 3 guaranteed tickets, happy days. Period 4 downwards, the email wasn't great. So what we're hoping is that the remaining tickets left, which will still be in a shitload of tickets, will go to period 4. Any left from that will then go to period 5. Any left from that, 6. That's what you think it goes on. What we're hoping it's not is that there's a select amount of tickets for period 4, a select amount for 5, and a select amount for 6. Because the last thing you'd want is where period 4, right, where season ticket holders, we've been to a couple of games, and then if someone in period 7, who isn't a season ticket holder, has been to one game, then manages to get a ticket for the final, it's not going to go down well, is it? So
No.
We're hoping that it's the former and that it's whatever's left goes into 4, whatever's left goes into 5, but we've just got our fingers crossed. I mean, personally, I've prepared for the worst, but
what's the actual crack with the, you know how you said there was members points, like 25 members points or whatever? How do you get the members points? I'm a bit behind.
So you get a loyalty point is for away games. So if you attend, you basically these days it's very hard to build up loyalty points because if you want to go to the FA Cup, you might want. I think Tranmere when Tranmere that might have been 50 loyalty points, which means you had to be to 50 away games prior to that game. So it's very hard to accumulate loyalty points. It is, especially these days. Under Ashley, that's when you needed to do it, but that you've got to put the miles in. 1 point for one away game. That's just how it is. Hell. I believe it's 1 point. Is that right?
Booked.
I think
I don't know if it's 1 point or 2 points, or you'll get more points. I've got no loyalty points because I can't get to an away game, so I've got to then get in contact with someone to get a ticket for me to go to an away game because it's that hard.
Yeah, so you're going to away games, but they're not under your name, so you don't get the loyalty point.
Exactly. So whoever's got me the ticket gets the loyalty point. It's like it's a catch-22.
Yeah, it's a broken system. I
believe we spoke about loyalty points before, different systems and all that. Because Sunderland actually used to have a thing where it was 3 years. After 3 years, your loyalty points get wiped. Then everyone starts again. Well, obviously, it depends on when you put. After 3 years, your loyalty points get wiped. Then you've got to start again. So it's got a constant turnover of different fans getting a chance to go. Because if you're a new 16-year-old starting to go to the match on their own, you've got no chance of starting to build your loyalty points these days. So, but then again, the people who put
on that though,
the people, I
was just going to say, like, so the 25 points. Say that Page is accruing 25 points to go to a game. Does he spend the 25 points and he loses?
No. The points stay in your system. So when club tickets get released for, say it was Liverpool away will probably start on about 120 loyalty points. So you people who've travelled the land for years and years and years, they'll get first priority. Then after a certain few amount of days, it might drop to 100 points, might drop to 50 points, and eventually, if there's any left, it might drop to 25 points. These days, it'll never ever go to 0 points now, never. But in the Ashley era, there's times it went to, like, say it was Bournemouth away, bottom of the country, not that many people can be bothered to go.
Yeah.
These days, even that sells out. So, it's hard. But going back to the Wembley tickets, Paige has got his, me, Dawson, a few of the lads waiting, but we're still going down. I mean, the train ticket's booked, the hotel's booked, the flag's ordered, that gets delivered. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat now, actually. Me and the lads who go to the match have made a fucking belter of a flag, to be honest. I won't lie. I'm just going to drop it in the chat.
We'll get that on the socials, guys, if you want to check that out.
Aye.
Follow us at stjames'pod.
So, yeah, mate. We're just sitting and waiting for now.
Aye. Best of luck. Fingers crossed for you.
Aye.
Really good.
I mean, it's going to be class anyway, isn't it? So,
well, Paige must be buzzing. He's gone. He's sorted.
I've been hesitant to say out because, I'd rather you guys be like sorted as well, and until that news has kind of come through, then I'll be buzzing just as much, But I mean, on the tickets we've got, we're up in the gods as well. So I think.
Did you get Wembley Club or did you get even higher? Club Wembley.
No. We're not Club Wembley. We're in the.
Are you 4-5?
It's 529 is the area that we're in.
Like the block.
So that's level 5. But it's
so that's basically level 7 St James's, isn't it?
It's right up there. And it's, I mean, it looks like it'll be a decent view. It's like the equivalent of being the level 7 Milburn stand. So kind of looking that sort of view of the pitch.
But just got to get there.
Aye, exactly.
Like where we
about level 7
stuck on the other side of the world. Go on.
Speaking about level 7 St James's though, obviously the news came out this week that we've bought back the land at Strawberry Place. So the stadium expansion rumours have obviously been flying around again. It looks like we might try and do. I mean, the issue's the road, innit? But we might try and build over the road or move the road back a bit or something like that. So
you've also got the metro station underneath.
The metro's a problem, because you can't put all that.
St James's metro.
Yeah,
well, you can't put the weight on top of it,
So you have to build the infrastructure underneath. I think. It'll cost a shit. Not that money's an object, but it'll cost a shit ton of money to build on top of the metro station. God knows there's no structural engineers here. So, but I don't know whether they'll have to build part of a new track or what, or it would literally just be a case of making it substantially stable. No idea. But
are they not listed buildings as well, though? I'm sure they'd have to maintain.
No. So you're thinking of the east stand over. You're thinking of the stand which is opposite.
Right round
over the back of that. Strawberry Place. You know what Strawberry Pub is?
Yeah.
Right, basically the Gallagher end at Strawberry Place. So it's like these days, it's like derelict outside. You've obviously got Shiraz, the road, and after that, before you get to the student accommodation,
it's just a car park. Well, it used to be a car park.
Used to be a car park, and then they were going to build like hotels and stuff like that on it, weren't they?
For the time being, it is. For the time being, it is a fan zone, apparently. Until they get all the planning stuff, they're wanting to make it into some sort of fan zone.
So they've got like a car park and everything.
Yeah.
All that land is,
Mike Ashley sold it, didn't he?
Mike Ashley sold it to the council, didn't he? So it will be interesting to see. I'd be interested to find out the difference in figure, what he sold that to the council for, and then what we've bought it back. I mean, it needed to be done because we need a stadium expansion. To build on top of the Gallagher.
That company had spent money as well, though, haven't they? They'd like started with the work, and they've obviously done a lot of like architecture and like design and everything.
Well, they built on the back of they built a student accommodation on the back of the Strawberry, haven't they? Which is a fucking eyesore.
Yeah, but we haven't bought that back, have we? So was that not even part of the same?
No, not that. But I believe I could be wrong, but I believe they bought the people who had the council who had that land, then built that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they must have at least like paid them back for what they've put into it, and probably more. So, but I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? As a fan, like, doesn't affect FFP or anything. So, it's just good news for us, I think.
Yeah,
but it also highlights the fact that there's going to be this is what I wanted. I didn't want to move stadium, did not want to move at all.
Yeah.
Which sort of highlights the fact that they're just going to extend it. So they're not going to build another stadium. They're going to extend this one. So fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll make the like home games even more of a fortress. Like, can you imagine if you've gone up to level 7 in the Gallagher as well?
I don't know if you'll get another. I don't know if you'll get like another 10,000 maybe on top of the Gallagher.
It would be awesome if you could just get it the same, like all the way. I mean, I know, like you're saying, listed buildings, so you can't really do that type, but if you get it the same level all the way, and then...
See, I'd love the East Stand to stay as it is, because it's like, it's the old stand, the old East Stand. It's full of the old boys, you know what I mean? They've sat there for 10 decades. So, because when you're at level 7, you look over the East Stand, you can see the whole city. I'd love it to just stay like that.
Yeah.
Just to keep that little bit
it's probably going to have to anyway, isn't it? So...
Well, like you say, with a list of buildings, but there's that. You could do the tiered system, which is like Rangers. So you've got the bottom stand here, and you got the stand above it, which overlaps it. So it's not just going up that. It sort of staggers. I don't know about the fucking hell. We're getting into architecture now, like I don't know what I mean. I think it's obviously because it doesn't. You don't need to go as far back if you're going on top of each other like that. So we'll see what happens. It's just exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's good news for like the likes of me and Jack. Obviously, if we come back, it's going to be very hard these days to get a ticket to actually go to St James.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll be.
To be fair, mate, it's not. When you've got me, Dawson, Page, you're all season ticket holders. You'll get a ticket.
Yeah, but I mean, whether that stays the same next season, there's rumours as well that they're going to change that. So,
oh really?
We'll see. But obviously, the bigger the stadium, the easier it's going to be for people who aren't season ticket holders. So, it's fantastic.
Where things are going, I wouldn't even know. To be honest, mate, I wouldn't even know.
What's the crack? I'm probably going a bit off tangent, but you know when people signed up for like the 10 years, you could sign up for a 10-year season ticket. Is that still like locked in? Is that still?
Yeah, it's still a thing. No, it's still a thing. It's something you get the option. So the 10-year thing is only if it's a price freeze. I don't know if you do that, Paige. Do you and your dad?
To be honest, I'm not too sure how he.
He's not too sure because his dad fucking pays for it.
Wait. to be fair,
Shout out Peter Page.
Shout out Pedro.
How well, lads? He washes the car every week.
Washes his chores.
Bit difficult down in Leeds, like, but there you are.
Long arms.
Yeah, no. Long arms.
Sean Long.
Yeah, I'm not.
Sorry.
Let's move on. Let's move off this one.
Well,
yeah.
Did you want to finish up on that page, or do you want to move on?
No. I was just going to.
No, let's move on. No, I'm finished, lads. Let's move on.
Well, the next thing I wanted to discuss was the other rumours that have come out this week, which are basically saying we're the next club to have an Amazon documentary. So, what do you call the series again? Is it? It's not Last Dance.
It's not going to be that. It's not going to be
All or
that.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's been.
But it's going to be in that
it's not going to be
style,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. It was a bit like, I think Leeds did one. It was like, it's because obviously you All for Nothing's like 10 episodes or something, is it?
Yeah, and this is only going to be 4 parts.
I believe, I don't know if it was Craig Hope or Downey released that. It said it's not going to be that kind of thing.
Well, the thing that interested me was listening to Eddie Howe's press conference. It kind of contradicted what some people have said, because people have been saying there's been cameras there all year filming, and that's why, like, do you remember when Dan Burn did his dance, and obviously Sky Sports were in the capture?
in the changing rooms, yeah.
They were saying, like, the only reason we allowed them in is because we already had Amazon there anyway. But from what Eddie Howe said, it sounded like we haven't done anything yet, and it's just being, like, worked out still, but that something is going to happen. So the filming hasn't actually started yet, according to what he said. He was saying, like, there's been cameras following them from the club. Obviously, be like that Serena and stuff's been capturing them loads, haven't they? Like the social media team. Yeah. They've been putting extra videos on of training and all that. But I mean, it was a bit disappointing when I heard that, because this season
might be
awesome so far.
It might be a case of the club have said, "I will let you do it, but we'll film it," so that
could be.
We know how thorough Eddie Howe is with everything. Might be a case of we don't like the certain things we don't want you filming how we do our tactics, how we do all this. I mean, it could just be very simple.
As well.
Well, it could just be like we'll just have our videographer filming as much as we can without giving stuff away.
I can't imagine Amazon agreeing to that though.
No, well, the Arsenal one, like, it hasn't necessarily. I know that was last season that they were filming Arsenal, but we got a really behind the scenes view of like what was going through Mikel Arteta's kind of thought process, which has obviously led into this season, which has seen them, be as successful as they have been so far. So to be honest, I think Amazon wouldn't be trying to like be sneaky with anything, trying to film stuff.
It's not like they've been able to watch that and then stop Arsenal from doing well, is it? Because they're fucking top of the league. So
well, exactly.
True. When you watch it, you didn't see stuff like in the tactic room or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You didn't see out in depth when you watch us talk.
There was that horrendous moment before the Liverpool game, though.
Don't say when he played the music. When he played the music. Yeah. Oh, mate, I can't see that. I can't see that. I can't see that.
That was awful.
Yeah,
but it'd be great. It'd be great to see. Like, to be honest, it'd be great to see in comparison what it is to Sunderland Till I Die. I saw one of the lads. The company he's working for is doing like the construction work at the training ground, which apparently is they had the initial plan and they just keep adding more and more and more onto what we're doing. But one of their site lads has been saying that there's been cameras following them around and stuff like that. Even while there's been building work going on, he's seen them all. So it is true. I keep getting a bit of this and a bit of that off him, and everything that's turned out has been true. Good little contact to have, lads.
Aye,
Got
definitely.
sauces in the club, guys.
A little mole, yeah.
St James's Pod is where it's at.
Yeah, love it.
Well,
Until the construction
I'll-
work's finished,
I'll
then we'll have fuck all.
It's a good job they keep adding shit on, really, isn't it?
Just keep banging on, we'll give him a job.
Do you think that means they're going to delay building a full new training centre?
Aye, I think that's what it's been said. Like, this is just the temporary kind of updates that, to be honest,
also-
should have been done years ago.
But also there's talk that this is going to go to the women. So once it's built,
yeah,
by the
true,
women. And then,
Yeah.
But then
And
didn't
they
they
can-
say they wanted them all to be under the same roof, basically, once it's all, the new thing's all done?
Yeah, you don't know what happened.
Well, that's what City have got,
The
haven't
academy
they?
could stay
Yeah.
there. Well, haven't City got
Yeah,
a
they
massive complex? It's huge.
Yeah, that's what we
They
wanted.
do.
They were talking
Yeah.
about
Surely
doing
you
a
can't
Gossip
have-
Racecourse, weren't they?
Yeah,
Buying
either that
Parklands
or John Hall used to own it. Woolsington. Is it Woolsington Hall? Is it Woolsington? So John Hall owns the
Yeah.
land.
Is it?
Owns the land, maybe.
Right.
I think it wasn't up near Ponteland Way. I believe that's a lot of talk on that. But the Rubens owned the land near the racecourse, so makes sense.
Oh, get rid of that. What's the football thing called again?
Goals.
Company football. No, all company football. Man.
Oh, complete football. Yeah.
Fuck the bottom and stuff.
Oh, it's actually called Goals Page, all right. I'm glad the bottom minstrel tomorrow. I need to watch the match.
Fucking up.
There'll be
Crack
no
into
more
the
of
spot.
that for you.
I know. Crack into the spot, that. Shout out bottom minstrel.
I was just when you said that, I just for some reason thought about Joe Linton having a pint after training and then driving home. But
Oh wow.
did you see?
Let's move on from that.
Anthony Gordon's got the same thing. He's got a driving ban. Well, it's off a drink driving.
He didn't know he was banned or something.
He's saying that
Yeah, well, that's what he
the
claims.
letter went to his old address or whatever. And then since he's been caught driving, his lass has been driving around. But hopefully nothing comes of that, because that could be another player off the court within the same year, probably. So.
Depends on the circumstance. Surely you know, like if you've been told you can't drive, you're not just going to drive. I'm hoping it's a cock up there, like.
But if you don't know, like,
If you
Like, if it doesn't go-
why
that's what
you
he's saying.
stop driving, exactly how you meant to know. Well, anyway,
And you'll have a decent lawyer, won't you?
Jesus Christ!
yeah.
Hey, well, not to cheer it up much, we'll talk about West Ham. So, not the best performance, not the best result, but I do want to just talk about it briefly before we talk about Bournemouth, because obviously there's some key stuff that'll potentially affect team selection. Bruno's still going to be suspended.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think we kind of fared without him against West Ham? Obviously, it was a draw, but
Massive hole in the midfield.
Massive hole, like lacking the creativity and just general kind of control of the midfield seemed to, be affected. I think.
do you think that was down to Bruno missing fully though, or do you think it was because Declan Rice had such a good game?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Well, yeah. Yeah, like
I think it's a bit of both.
Obviously, I would say it's a bit of both. Like Bruno would have loved to go up against Declan Rice, and I think could have nullified him a little bit more had he been playing. But Rice did have a cracking game, and I think it was a big ask for a few, especially for Longstaff to step up into that role of Bruno's.
He had a good game for me, Longstaff.
He did. No, he did. It's just we obviously know that he just doesn't have
Bruno,
the same
obviously.
skill set of a Bruno.
But this is the thing, though, isn't it? We're saying Declan Rice had a good game. He did have a fantastic game, but you could say our best player wasn't on the pitch. Declan Rice could have been made a fool of by Bruno. He might not have been, but if Bruno was on the pitch, he could have made a fool of. And you could be thinking, fucking hell, I'd rather Sean Longstaff than Declan Rice. But obviously that's the whole Longstaff Rice comparison that's been going on for years. So, did Rice have a good game? To be honest, I've never even spoken to anyone about this. Did Rice have such a cracking game? He did have a brilliant game. There's no denying that. But was it highlighted because our main man wasn't on the
Bruno,
pitch?
wasn't it?
Yeah, we were in a strong. And I mean, I don't know how long we trained with that midfield trio, before the game as well.
Who was it?
So,
Who was the three again? Joe Linton?
Joe Linton,
Longstaff?
Joe
Joe
Willock,
Linton
and
dropped in.
Longstaff.
Yeah.
So who went left?
Willock.
Maxi started on the left.
Actually started left, yeah.
You mean left?
Maxi
of
started
the
left.
middle three.
No, almost like in Willock's position. So because obviously, or Joe Linton, well, attacking left, whatever you want to call it. Joe Linton,
Maxi, yeah.
Joe Linton and Willock swapped that many times. I don't know who plays were.
Well, I think he was tinkering with it, wasn't he? Howe was tinkering with it throughout the game, just sort of moving people around and seeing what could change things. So maybe that didn't help either, because obviously we started strong and then seemed to sort of peter off a little bit, which I don't know what if that was because of the tinkering or if that was or that was just because of Declan Rice coming into his own or them starting to get a bit more of a foothold on the game. It was, I don't know, you could see it coming, which is the disappointing thing. You could see they were getting stronger and stronger the more you watch the game. We're not moving forward as much as what we should. Probably one that I just wanted to get your thoughts on, boys, was being a lot of debate about Maxi and how he performed. I think I haven't got Twitter, but I heard Twitter blew up after the game, sort of calling for his head. And I personally didn't think he had that.
Why have you got Twitter?
It was a bit of what can we call it?
Same argument.
Controversy.
Throw him under the bus, why don't you, Pete? Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the club. I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying. I didn't think he had a good game.
I don't get it personally, me. He didn't have a good game, but he wasn't like horrendous.
No.
I just think people love to complain about him.
Yeah.
We complain about him, right? Because it's horrible to say, he does not do the dirty work. He can piss about with the ball and do
But he
tricks
was
and
doing
try
it
and
in
take
that game.
I didn't think he was that much, me.
The stats are there though. He was going to he was on set to get the most coverage of the field out of all the players, and he was definitely trapping back more. Remember, right at the start, he came back.
Maybe I'm a prime example of that. Then that the fans just see the times, they don't sort of notice the times he's tracking back. He can run back all he wants, but it's the times when he loses the ball, takes him 10 seconds to get up off the ground, struts back, and it's like, fucking put your shift in. I don't know. I think he's going through a confidence patch because he hasn't been in the team. Because he's been injured, can't help that. We've been performing very well, so he hasn't been in the team. He's now, Eddie Howe alluded to it today in his interview. He said he's basically been given a window to show what he can do.
Yeah.
Because
that's it. He needs to run a games, doesn't he?
That's exactly what Eddie Howe said. He needs to run a games.
August, and expect him to be like he was against City.
Yeah,
and he's fitting into a totally new system as well, and he's trying to do what Eddie Howe's asking him. You can see by the way he is tracking back and stuff. He's trying to play a different way. So I really don't get why people are going for his head so much. It's like he had a bad game, but so did Almiron. So did the whole
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Willock had a shite game.
I think it's because
Maxi.
We haven't seen the good games because he's been injured, because he hasn't played. So he's come back and he's done shit. So everyone's like, blah, blah. I'm one of them, to be honest. After the game, I was like, fuck, sell him in the summer. But when you sit back, you're like, well, you can't. I swear to God, everyone was, mate. Everyone, as soon as Maxi tried to do too much, lost the ball, or everyone's like, for fuck's sake. But you could say exactly the same thing about Wilson. Do you know what I mean? Like the past few games, what's he done? Nothing.
Right, exactly.
He scored.
He scored. Yeah, sorry, he only scored against West Ham, but prior to that, it was like he's crap, yeah. But just because he's having a bit of a bad patch, it's when you sit back and look at it, he's having a bit of a bad patch. He hasn't scored or got an assist. He's been near enough for this summer. He's putting some cracking balls in and stuff like that. And there's no one been on the end of them. It's not his fault, but it's like, well, I don't know. It is frustrating. But I think fans jumping on his back because of when he gets fouled or when he gets tackled. To him, it's a foul. Any tackle is a foul. It's
he's always been like that though. Like, it is frustrating, but it's not. It's not
want him
new,
to be everything. Exactly. We kind of expect him to be everything. He's got his strengths and he's got his weaknesses, but. Yeah, I mean, I just had a quick look at the player ratings there across the board. We didn't get Sven Botman was the only player who got a 7. Everyone else was below that. Almiron
it's that type of game.
Got a 5. Willock got a 4. Sim Maximan they've given a 5. So he was in the upper end of the ratings. If you look at it from that point of view, as Sam says, the stats don't lie in terms of what he was producing as well. So I don't know. I wanted to get your thoughts on it because I actually didn't think he had that bad a game, but. Maybe that wasn't because I wasn't singling them out.
I think something's like missing a little bit though since these long injury spells. I think whether or not he's worried about a repeat of the same sort of muscle injuries that he's been having. Like something just seems slightly off kilter with him. I don't know. Maybe it is just that he's still not 100% match fit, but. Whenever I've seen him recently, there's just the kind of electric kind of movement that we're used to from him. Like, just isn't quite there. And
but when he's come on as a sub, he's had it. Like, he got that man sent off against Southampton, for example. He come on, was class off the bench. And then the thing when he comes off the bench, he's going to be told by the coaching staff, just go on and play your game. You're like, do you goal or whatever. Whereas when he starts, he's got like so much more responsibility now, and he's got Dan Burn.
Do you think he starts tomorrow?
Yeah, 100%.
I think he does.
Yeah,
I think he does.
Yeah, he will. He will.
I think he's a different player with Isak as well.
Yeah, he will be.
Well, this is it. I think I was just about to say. I think Isak was a massive miss. Obviously,
let's look ahead to Bournemouth then. What talking about?
Well, hang on. You jumping forward here, mate. You're missing a prime point here. Anthony Gordon when he came on. Personally,
I
thought he gave us what was missing with Bruno. When he came on, I thought he gave us the creativity of what was missing the whole fucking game. Within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He had a class cameo. But then it's like what I say with Maxi, like he comes off the bench and he looks like good. Is it because he came off the bench? Can he do it from the start?
I believe he can.
He's coming on against coming on against tired legs as well.
This is
his debut at home.
But he's always been. I know it's been a bit of a shit position with Everton recently. But look at last season when they were top of the league they were in the Champions League spot for so many games. Do you know what I mean? He had a great season last season. Everton, they did.
Everton were in a relegation battle last season.
Eventually.
At the very start. At the very start,
flying,
they were quite in good form.
Before the sack Benitez?
Absolutely flying, mate, aye. And then, I mean, don't get us wrong, it wasn't like half the season out there. But for the first, 7, 8 games, they were up there, they were flying. And then it just went into free fall. But that's how Anthony Gordon got noticed, because he was having a brilliant season. Personally, I think his determination, his attitude. I understand we've gone on about his attitude. We said it in a couple of pods ago, the whole missing training and all that carry on. But when he's on the pitch,
but on the pitch,
he's passionate about it. Like he gets stuck in.
He's like
obviously he wanted to
Eddie Howe player, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly that. He goes forward, takes the ball forward, creates stuff. How many things he created? 2 or 3 chances when he came on for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
he should have got
Wilson back and stop.
Exactly. Yeah. He's quick as well. He's so quick, and he's tall.
He's
very tall. Yeah. I didn't realize how tall he was, to be honest. Personally, I'm going to throw it. I'd rather Gordon start than Maxi.
Well, yeah, but this is why I was saying let's look ahead to Bournemouth, because for me, Almiron needs a rest. So would you not start Gordon on the right and then keep Maxi in the team? Because Maxi needs a run of games.
Yeah, 100% agree with you.
But then the other question is Isak Wilson. Because I think
an ideal
that will help Maxi as well.
In an ideal world for me, I'd want Gordon left, Isak right, Wilson middle. But obviously that leaves nothing on the bench for a striker.
Yeah.
But what you just said there is Gordon, Maxi, Wilson. Does Wilson start? I don't know. Does Isak start?
I can't see Eddie Howe dropping him after he scored, like, to be honest. But
that's very true. Yeah. Very true.
Oh, well, he's going to his old club as well, as like he seems to have this kind of record of scoring against. Like, I mean, he had a really decent goal scoring record against West Ham. I think he scored the most goals against West Ham. I'm not sure how many he scored, but has he scored for us against Bournemouth? I'm sure he has. In the
can't remember
first season.
When he
season,
man doors up for that stuff like that, like.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a game that you don't want to drop Wilson for. Going back to his old stomping ground, like, not like he's got anything to prove to them, but like I feel like he'd be up for it. And
one thing I'm thinking though is with Isak. Do you remember against Liverpool at their place? He was absolutely class. He scored and then he had one disallowed.
Who's Isak? Who's that? A page of me? Or?
My point being that we're playing Liverpool after Bournemouth. So if he's like kind of eyeing up,
I'd rather Isak
start against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Then no, but does he need some game time?
Well, he seems to have started giving Isak more minutes each time, bringing Wilson off a little bit earlier each time, maybe 5 minutes earlier or something like that. So
it'll probably be Wilson.
I think Isak might get
Isak.
He might get half an hour. I think Isak might get half an hour. I'm all right. Like,
yeah, depends on the games I've done it. Like if we're winning,
of course,
it's not as urgent. But if we're not, he might come on.
Yeah, but then again, you could say if we're winning comfortably, bring him on and let him do his thing.
Yeah, just give him some time.
Well, he could do what if we're chasing it, or looking to try and grab a late winner. Then he might throw them both up there like he did against Fulham.
Yeah, could do
because it proved to be pretty effective when we did have them, and we tweaked the system to have the two up front. So yeah, I mean it's difficult though because we're away from home, so it's a little bit more risky to do that. But I mean, I hope we're not going to be in a position where we're chasing the game. Put it that way.
I was checking out the stats and stuff before we came on, and obviously Bournemouth are on a bad run of form. Eddie Howe did mention they've made some January signings and stuff, so he's saying they're not the same Bournemouth and stuff, but I don't know if he's just saying that to lower expectations. But their goal difference is like it's down there like minus 20 or something. Ours is like plus 20 something. So there's like a huge gulf in goal differences. I think they've conceded the most in the league. Maybe they're certainly up there, and we're like conceded the least.
I've got some good players, man. That Billen and Solanke, obviously, especially Billen. There are some good players, and I can't remember. They had a player on the wing, Paige, you might remember. They had a player on the wing who was shit hot. Can't remember. Was it Vinicius?
I think Zamira. Zamira, I think, is the player I was going to highlight. I think he played as like a full wing back or full back. I'm going
to look into it.
In the earlier rounds of the Carabao Cup, I went to that one where we snuck a 1-0 win, and he was definitely one player I would have like highlighted as being a pretty like explosive player down that side. I think they've got some like decent young quick lads. Jaden Anthony as well. Yeah. He's
Anthony. That's what I'm thinking of, mate. Anthony.
Yeah.
One thing Eddie called out was.
I don't know why I thought it was Vinicius.
Vinicius,
not the Real.
Anthony.
I know. I'm not thinking of Vinicius. I'm not thinking of Vinicius Junior. Because there's another Vinicius in the... There's another Vinicius in the Premier League. Is it Vinicius or it's something like that?
Yeah, he plays for Fulham.
I was going to say Fulham,
Vinicius.
isn't it? Aye.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah.
Vinicius. But no, Eddie Howe was saying, like, after they've had the signings and that, January signings, they've got, like, pace all over the pitch now, which that is one thing that worries me sometimes because our defence doesn't have that much pace. Like, not all of them are slow, but they're certainly probably going to struggle against pace more than height. So, yeah, could be one where they get us on the counter with the pace.
Yeah, no, I'd be a bit worried about that. And plus, I mean, yeah, the last 5 games doesn't read particularly great for them. Like, they've lost 4 of their last 5, but they're, I don't know, I still think they've turned the corner a bit since Gary O'Neill's like took full charge of them. They certainly look a bit more of a better rounded team. So yeah, I'm not taking it lightly. That's for sure. And you know, they've got Kiefer Moore and Solanke and Billing are all the top scorers, joint on 4 goals. So you know, they've got strikers who are scoring for them. And yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a few causes for concern, maybe, and of course they got a point against us at St James's. So yeah, we got to be cautious of them.
The other thing,
I think for me, go on, Sam.
Go on, Jack. No, you're right.
I was going to say, as much as we're looking at their team and who they've brought in and all the rest of it, for me, this is probably a good chance for us to not become that one-dimensional team that everyone's starting to sort of understand how we play against. You know, there's been a lot of draws recently. For me, it's the opportunity for us to go out and try something new against a team that, yeah, maybe struggling, maybe trying to turn their form around. But if we could go out and try like a back to a 4-4-2 or a 4-2, you know, different formation with different set of players, at least we then move forward knowing what that option is. If we wanted to revert to a separate system, if we are found out in a game by, you know, the likes of Liverpool or Man City or someone who's up there, I don't know. I feel like it's an opportunity to give you players that you want to rest, your Almirons and your Willocks, and bring in, you know, 3 or 4 different players so that you can give them a run of games, but also try and play a different. Who's the 3 or 4 different players though? Well, for me, I'd leave Maxi on. I'd put Wilson and Isak up front, and I'd have Gordon playing on the right or somewhere in the middle. In terms of
that's the thing, though. If you put Wilson and Isak on, we don't have a striker. Like, is it on the bench? But do we need that? Like, what do we need? Are you saying just for an impact player? Or just no? I'm just saying that obviously it just injuries. Obviously, Wilson's made of glass, so. If Wilson pulls a hammy or something like that. But then all you do is you drop back to the way we normally play with 1 up front, and you put in Almiron back in, or however Gordon drops in the middle, Almiron goes on the right. I get what you're saying. There's always the
Gordon
fallback position of
play up front as well.
That's it.
Gordon's
Gordon's play anywhere across the front 3, can't he? Maxi, to be honest, you could probably play Maxi up front. He doesn't track back anyway, so you just leave him up there.
What I was going to say was Joe Linton is 2 yellow cards off suspension, and he pretty much picks up a yellow card a game. And obviously, if he gets one Bournemouth, then Liverpool, he misses the final. So
does he miss the final though?
Yeah.
Is it not just a Premier League suspension?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he missed the final.
What a fucking claim that is, by the way.
I'm pretty sure, like this.
Sam's going to get spitting facts that he doesn't know if they're true or not.
I'm like 90% confident. But does that mean we leave him out for Bournemouth? And then, like you say, like we would probably have to change formation because someone like Elliot Anderson might have to come in. Or maybe like Gordon comes in and you play more of a diamond or something. But is that something that's going to end up changing the team selection as well?
So, yeah, there's a lot to consider. I don't know. I look at the games between now and the final, and this is probably the one that you go, let's try something. We're going to try something, but then we all know
I agree with that.
How thinks and likes to keep his team the way it is. It's a winning team, so you don't change it. But
but
I don't know.
We know Eddie Howe. He's going to have that in his head. He'll know the whole Joe Linton crack. You know he's a bit of a fucking liability for getting a yellow card. Yeah. He's also a vital. If we don't have Bruno and Joe Linton in the middle, we could well lose. Yeah. To be honest. So it's interesting. Like, does he let? I don't know. I don't know what he does, because all it takes is a little pull back or something for Joe Linton to get a yellow card, or him to get a scrap like you always does. But who on earth do you put in to replace them? To be fair to Anderson came on in the middle against West Ham and he did all right, got himself about, passes the ball around. He looked fair, looked spot on. But in no way is he the same sort of presence as either of them do. So it goes back to what we talk about every time: is the squad depth.
Yeah. Well, we don't really
sign someone in January when we let Shelby go. We might be worried, but hindsight's a wonderful thing.
By the way, I was just going to jump in and just correct Sam on his assumption that it's a big assumption, and the yellow cards are only league.
He shot me down, bang bang.
Happy days, then.
Yeah.
So he doesn't miss the
fucking
final.
play him. Go on, Joe, get stuck in sun.
Get flying in.
Okay, get yourself a boot, lad.
I'll cut that bit up then, sorry.
If it was any of us, you'd have fucking left it in.
What a joke.
Subscriptions are gone through the fucking roof, but keep it gone.
If you like what you see in this episode, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. 5-star ratings on podcast platforms like Spotify and Apple would be very much appreciated. And keep watching the show, because we're going to do our predictions now. So, who wants to go first? Bournemouth away score prediction. We're kind of doing like a little sort of league now, which...
Has anyone got anything right, by the way?
Yeah, I didn't do so well.
Nobody got it right last week, and nobody got the actual result. As in, like, I think we said we'd give 1 point for the right result and then 3 points for the right score. And
prior to this, though, has anyone got anything right?
I didn't go back.
Think so. No,
I've been listening on, and I didn't think he's ever get one right.
So we've started this little fucking table from the last game.
No, let's just start it from this game. Yeah.
It's after January transfer window, and now we're starting the fucking score prediction table.
I'll get Dawson's.
I'll
dive
to the Toon.
All right, 2-0. Fair.
Right, 2-0. I'm going to say 3-0, you know. I think we're going to smash them. They're shite.
I'm going to say 2-1.
Shite.
2-1. 2-1.
What you said, bitch? 2-1.
2-1, Toon. I feel like...
Did you leaky at the back as usual?
I've just texted him for his prediction. If I was talking for my own league prediction,
Dawson is out getting steamballed right now, so he's going to text you back saying 6-0 or something.
More than likely.
All right. Let's say that we're going to bounce back. We've been found out in recent weeks, so let's say we'll go 3-1. I reckon we'll leak a goal as well.
3-1. All right. Well, we're all predicting a win, which is good. But we kind of do that every week, so.
I know. Now do.
Yeah.
All right, guys, predictions are in. Join us next time. and we'll go over the game, and we'll also look ahead to Liverpool. And any club news that comes out, we'll discuss it right here at St James's Pod, and we'll see you then.